Hello everybody, it's Slipshod. We're jumping back into Minecraft and back into my solo playthrough of Skyblock Infinite. In the last episode, we did a little bit of shaping up of our starter island, as well as bravely adventuring over the void in search of riches from buried treasure chests. And of course, we did not come back empty-handed. We also ended the episode having vastly improved our ability to get some of those precious starting resources. But today we'll put them to use as we build a simple mob farm that absolutely nothing can go wrong in. And we'll continue our ever-raging war against the phantoms of the night. Later in the episode, we'll bring it all together into a nice little starter house that we can finally call a starter home. And just to prove that you have nothing to fear, subscribe right now and I'll show off some of my epic combat moves. I'm gonna 1v1 this iron golem using only my fist. Oh, I'm dead already. Well, please still subscribe anyways, guys. Come on, I need this. But let's just get right back into our world, shall we? Kick back, relax, and we'll pick right back up where we left off with a super fast time lapse. Alright folks, so you may have seen from that little time lapse, 10 days have passed in our Minecraft world, and we've made just a couple cosmetic changes around here. Nothing too fancy, but you might notice a few differences already. As you can see, we have moved our berry bushes from right next to our house to directly behind our little shelter that we have here. As well, I did extend out the farming area by one more block, just to give us a little more space. And I finished it up with a little bit of a railing, just to give it a little more of a finished look to it. And it looks like we already have a pumpkin to show for it. Now, let's go ahead and move on and put these into our chests here, which you might also notice we have more of now. This is just where I've been putting some of my extra resources during my past few days grinding. In this first box, we have a ton of cobblestone, which is gonna come in very handy later on when I plan on doing a bit more building in the episode. In the box next to it, absolutely a bunch of stone and plenty of spruce logs for ourselves. This last one has been kind of our catch-all for now, just holding everything else as we need it. But other than that, you can see I have added a few more small trees. This method I had here was supposed to be a way of getting bees' nests onto our island. But unfortunately, you can't actually spawn bees' nests on spruce trees. Whoops, my bad. So I guess we can go ahead and just take back these flowers. We have also just added a couple staircases along these just to give it a little less of a floating look. I know, these chests are still floating, but I plan to do something about that very shortly. My first order of business, though, is going to be doing something about our nighttime visitors. As you can see, the sun is already starting to go down, so we're gonna have to do something sooner rather than later. And I think the perfect thing to do would be getting a bed for ourselves. That's going to be a bit of a trickier task than on a regular survival world. I don't know about you, but I don't see any sheep around here. As I know I'm not equipped to handle the flock of phantoms that's bound to descend on me any time here, I think we should keep it close to the base for now. But In the morning, we have some big plans. Just you wait. I suppose while we wait for the sun to come back up, I'm just gonna get a bit more cobble. See you in the morning. All right, everyone, that is another night down and honestly a fair bit of cobblestone to show for it. Now, I'm a little curious. I wonder how many stone pickaxes I've gone through at this point. Let's check our statistics. Wow, we have gone through 38 of them already, and I'm sure that number is going to vastly increase in the future. Though I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. We certainly have enough to at least get started on the project I would like to here. So let's go ahead and convert it into slabs for ourselves. We already have this little bridge established over here, so why not continue out our island a bit further? In most of the Skyblock worlds that I see, you tend to get little segments that people have small builds on. And I think for this, I would like to try to just keep it as one large structure. And of course, it always has to start out somewhere. One of the things that's really going to help us out is getting some mob drops. So it's probably time for us to make our first mob farm here. Start showing off a little bit more of our combat prowess. For now, let's just work on expanding this platform some. There we go. This half slab roof will protect us from having other mobs spawn on top of us, while the full blocks down in here will allow mobs to still be able to spawn. But of course, we're going to need it to be dark, and make a couple spruce doors for ourselves, and use those to block off our entrances. I don't want that to be our only safety measure. Let's whip up a few fences that we'll put down just to keep ourselves safe from the mobs that do spawn in here. If we need to, we can use it as a little bit of a shield. Alright, that will do just enough to keep us safe. Protect us from any incoming arrows, if any skeletons spawn. And just to make sure we don't lose any mobs who might show up, let's make a couple boats. We'll just put some of these in the corners and some on this side as well. Let's replace that door with some gates just so we can see onto the other side, and a button here just to prevent anything creepy from being behind this door. That should finish us off for this place. Last thing to do is just break these last two torches. And hopefully that should make it dark enough in here. We should be able to get a couple mob spawns. And with the night upon us once more and still no bed to show for it, let's just jump ahead to morning. It'll be so nice to have a house for myself finally. Alright, it seems like it is finally morning. I think I just heard the last of the phantoms burning away, which is a great sign for us, which means we can get back to our building. Now, I do want to go over there and see if we got any mobs, but first, there's one quick thing I would like to make, just to make sure we stay extra safe at all times. One piece of iron, right here in the middle. And a bit of wood. And voila, we have ourselves a shield. This will hopefully keep us safe from anything that might try to do us harm in there. We're looking pretty dangerous if you ask me. Let's go see what we've got. What kind of goodies await us in here? Alright, carefully now. I can already see a skeleton. Oh. You have been stopped. What else do we got in here? Hopefully not too many creepers. We can handle this. Carefully. We do have a creeper. Hopefully it can't see us. Oh, but that skeleton sure can. I think maybe this was a bad idea. We should probably do a little bit of reconnaissance here. But we did get the bone for the bone meal that we needed. Now if only I can get that spider in there to drop some string. And then get a bunch more of them. Wish me luck clearing this out. Ouch! Okay, so rethink things. Ouch! He is a good shot. Oh, if only berries could heal you any faster. As you can see by the arrow in my head, things aren't going exactly according to plan. Maybe we can sneak into the back a little. See one. Oh, and he can see me too. Man, they're a good shot. Oh, is that an Enderman? And a creeper? My goodness. We're gonna need some more berries. Give me 1 second. It'll be so nice to have a bed. Have all the things that this mob farm can give us. Oh, and a creeper in the back one, too. Could this get any worse? Alright, that'll block them off for now. Hopefully let me just focus on this side. Where did that spider go? Oh, this could work out well for us, actually. Or not. Okay, so step 1, not exactly going according to plan. Let's just patch this over for now. I suppose that's one way to take care of the other monsters. Now if only we can get this creeper taken out without blowing up. We did it! Alright, and that just leaves our old friend the skeleton. Alright, that is a skeleton down. This whole thing didn't quite work out how I expected. Let's see if we can make a few changes. I've got another idea of something else we can try that might work a little better for us. Let's grab a few boats and some cobblestone walls and see if it'll help. Now, no idea if that'll actually help any, but let's go ahead and hide away, grab a bit more cobblestone tonight, and see if it makes any changes in the morning. Let's head back for now. We maybe can keep a little closer to the base and see if we can create an infinite water source for ourselves. Now, this doesn't need to be anything big or fancy here, so let's just make a little section, grab a bit more cobblestone. And let's see if the phantoms are gonna let us try to clone our water source tonight. First, I'm gonna need to make sure I remember how. Let's give it a go. Now, I think all I need to do is take this water for now and place it just up here. All I need to do is bone meal the bottom. And now I should be able to break this and take this water source, and there we go. We now have an infinite water source for ourselves. Perfect. This means our water is going to be able to be cloned as long as we need it to. As long as we have this little well here, we should always be able to get more water from the center. And let's put this back before we kill any more of those. I did just destroy one of our pumpkin seeds. Whoops. Thankfully, it's not something we've been really hurting for. It was kind enough to leave a few seeds behind in its wake. Let's take these two for the time being. This is really going to open some doors for us. And we just spent the last little bit of the night getting a little bit more cobblestone. The usual. Let's just drop the extras in here and grab a bit more back for ourselves for using. See if we have any new goodies today. Doesn't look like anything spawned. Maybe it's a bit too cramped in here. In the meantime, I suppose I can start getting some other things together for working on our house now that we've got that water. Getting the bed is just a matter of getting a bunch of spiders to spawn. We're just gonna have to keep checking in on it now and then. Let's get a few new chests for ourselves and start separating out some resources that we need to build a little home. Thankfully, most everything I should already have in my chests over here. So let's just start putting it together and seeing if we have all that we need. And I think out over this way would be a nice place for it. I'm just gonna go back and forth between checking for spiders and gathering up the resources I need for this build. I'll just let you know if anything interesting happens. Oh, we got another advancement. Nice. Crafting 64 stone bricks, apparently. Oh, looks like we've got a thunderstorm brewing. That shouldn't cause any troubles to my plans. Yikes. Still nothing in here, it looks like. Well, that's a shame. Maybe it's just too bright up front here. Maybe that'll help a little. You'll be able to see here in this chest that we have everything we should need for a nice little starter house. We have ourselves plenty of cobblestone and stones and stone bricks, as well as spruce and some spruce accessories. We should be able to make ourselves a nice little cottage here, and I plan on building it just off this side. And thanks to this rain, we even managed to get ourselves an ender pearl. It just kind of appeared here on my island. I guess Endermen are even less of a fan of the rain than I am. But it's something to tuck away for now and use at a later date. Let's do one last quick check over here at the mob farm and see if we've got anything. I did keep checking on it while I was gathering up my resources for my build, and unfortunately nothing wound up showing up. If there's still nothing there, we're definitely going to have to reconsider it. Moment of truth. Oh, we do. We have a skeleton at least. Let's make sure there's nothing around this corner here to surprise us. Nothing at the corner. We should be okay. Now, time to be brave. Alright, another skeleton down. And really, no drops at all. I think that might have been the only thing in here, though. I don't think this place is working. We're gonna have to make some changes. Let's just tear out all these walls and go a little more open form. We'll just row these boats back along the back wall. Hopefully with them more just set up like this, this'll just take care of the problem itself. If not, then we might have to look into doing something even bigger next episode. I am getting so desperate for string. What? It sounds like the rain might have just stopped. Ah, sweet daylight. How I've missed you, son. The sun is already going down, and we've wasted so much time already just fighting with these mobs. How about we just make it simple? We'll just do a little bit of editor magic, look straight up into the sky and zoom as close in on ourselves as we can, and voila! Ignore the fact that it's been about 5 in-game days. We now have a large platform behind us here that will be great for doing a bit of building on. It is nice and large and well lit just to make sure we don't have any problems. In the off time while making this, I did keep checking over at our mob farm, and sadly, still no spiders. So no luck on that bed yet. But a bit of patience will pay off, I'm sure. In fact, let's go check that now. You may be able to see the platform did spread out over this direction as well. Let's see if we have anything new in here. Oh, it sounds like we do. Looks like just a zombie. We are definitely going to have to rethink this mob situation in the next episode. I think this one we can consider a failure. Let's go ahead and make use of all these resources that we collected a little earlier on, and we'll jump right into a time lapse of building our starter home. Roll it! Alright, that's gonna do it for the time lapse as we finally have our starter home built. Now, I haven't done any of the furnishing or anything yet. That's something I'm probably gonna wind up doing in between episodes. You can probably see from my inventory, I have made quite a mess for myself. And the chest that we have over by the cobblestone generator really could stand to be moved inside as well. Not to mention, it really wouldn't hurt for us to make that whole cobblestone area a bit safer. But the first order of business is going to be a bed. No matter what, we are going to have to get one. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed following us through some of the building we did today, even if that mob farm really didn't turn out to work as well as I had hoped. Next episode, I plan on making a much better one that is going to be much more efficient. I should be able to now that I have access to that infinite water source. Another great upgrade for our island. As always, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. I'm gonna do a little bit of work here around the island between episodes, just cleaning things up and getting this house a bit more settled. Bye for now.